Alrighty, welcome to another episode of Mission Debrief, RM's podcast. Today we've got a bunch of topics lined up, including a special interview with 3N 2013 regarding the opening of the Marine Corps Security Division. So, to start off, let's see. So to start off, we have the opening of a lot of branch maps, like the Marine Headquarters and War Training map, the Space Force War Training map, and the Army Headquarters. So, like Marines just released their headquarters and their oil rig War Training map, and Space Force released a War Training map on the moon. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Honestly, with the Marines maps, they could use some work here and there. From what I've seen from the Space Commandos map, or not Space Commandos, the Space Force War Training map, it's looking to turn out really well from what I could tell. And the Army High Command, or the Army HQ base, I can't really say much. I haven't seen it as of lately.
Yeah, I think the Space Force map was really well made. The Marine maps were like a tad bit rushed. Each one we only had about 2 weeks to work on, but still a lot of work was put into all of the different branch maps, and for the builders that worked on each one did an amazing job for all of them. What do you guys think about the branch maps?
I honestly think the branch maps, they definitely do need to see improvement as they continue forward, because, yet again, they're still work in progress. I've seen the very same thing happen when I released an SAS War Training map, and overall, just along those lines, it's just, over time, they can continue to make changes, improve it, and overall, I'm excited to see what route they will take for all of it in terms of making updates for the future.
Yeah. So I know the Army HQ is under construction, so I'm excited to see how that turns out, and like how that's gonna go. And then I'm assuming the other branches are also working on their own HQs and possibly war training maps as well.
I know on that topic, a lot of branches have like HQ maps made already. Like Army has, I believe, 2 other HQ maps that they already have made. So the thought is, are they going above what they need?
Yeah, a lot of the maps that have been made recently are remakes of previous maps, because the old maps are either outdated or owned by someone who is no longer in UE, or something of that, like something in that direction. Okay, next up is Air Force just introduced a new permanent, they're calling it a permanent training event, where Rain is gifting XP and like tokens and all that sort of stuff for large amounts of trainees. So, what do you guys think of that?
For me, being the chief of aerial operations now, I overall really love this incentive. It's gotten a few people to join Air Force, as who wouldn't want free tokens? Who wouldn't want promotions for doing the most basic recruitment? And with this, it is permanent. It doesn't have an end in sight. So those that are thinking about joining Air Force, I'd recommend it, because you get the chance to receive these rewards throughout your time, and they do stack. It is really beautiful, because honestly, Rain has a lot of tokens willing to give because of him doing CV2 stuff and everything along those lines. And it's one way to extend his appreciation towards Air Force and continue forward with it.
Yeah, it's very generous of Rain to be giving away this much money just for training. It's a lot of tokens that have already been paid out from what I've heard. So, next up is the release of the Marine Corps Security Division, also known as the Marine Guard, which we actually have the Marine Guard Commander 3N 2013 here for a special interview regarding Marine Guard's release and plans for the future of Marine Guard. So, Alex, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is 3N 2013, but I also go by Alex. A lot of people know that. And I am the Marine Corps Security Division Commander. Basically, I'm in charge of that. I'm also the third IC, so.
So, Alex, how do you feel about the release of this new division and being selected as the first leader of it?
Yes. No, I'm joking, I'm joking. No, I actually feel really, really happy and honestly really honored because back when we lost MRR, I really felt like I lost a part of who I was in RM. And with this new division, it basically fills that gap. And so I'm able to help my branch again with a part of their stuff. So I feel honestly really happy that I've been chosen to take care of it. You know.
So in short terms, you just reclaimed your former position.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel MCSD has been doing so far in the short time it has been released as a sub-branch?
Honestly, we have been doing really, really good. We have a good amount of people in both the first and second. The third one, obviously, it's only for the best, so normally I wouldn't just pick anyone to be in the third. But we're doing good on members, and for right now, we have 2 regiment commanders. We're doing pretty good. Our startup is going slowly, little by little. We are stabilizing. There is some things that need to be worked on, but we can learn how to work that while also expanding the division.
What would you say the biggest issue Marine Guard has right now is?
Honestly, as of right now, the only problem is the fact that we have one, I believe it's because of time zone issues where most of our guards are in different like common time zones like CST and EST, and there's not a lot of GMT, which is why I try to fix that by trying to find more qualified people that are in GMT, so that way it's actually a divided, and that way people are able to request guards while they're on map, and because we're so diverse, it'll be a lot easier to be protecting each and every single person that we find. As well, I believe the other problem is basic knowledge. Some of our guards, they're new, I understand that. But there's problems if our guards are not fully revised and make sure they understand what their task is and how to actually commit to that task. Which is why we're going to be able to make like more, and we're going to like, how do I say this? We're basically gonna be we're doing enrichment so that way they understand what they're doing. And if they don't understand it, we'll basically try to level it down to a way that they'll be able to understand how they're supposed to commit to their jobs. But other than those are just the main. Those are just the main problems.
Okay, so Alex, how do you plan to fix those issues in the future? Because like, how do you plan to address those and fix them?
Well, like I said, I'll obviously look at that. With the diverse, like I said, I'm going to be looking for more of peoples who are divided like in different time zones, not just all the same time zone. Because if they're all the same time zone, it's going to be very hard for people, for like our senators and our representatives. It's going to be hard because everyone's in different time zones and you can't basically determine who's going to want guarding. Which is why I'm going to try to find more people who are like in different time zones, different apart, so like one's in PST, one's in CST, one's in EST. Basically, a more diverse division, so that way we can actually have our guards be able to guard our VIPs. As with the second problem, like I said, basically we're going to be teaching them. We're going to basically revise on the protocols and what they are supposed to be doing. Right now, it's not really a huge problem, but it is starting to rise up, and I want to cut it down before it reaches a maximum where people won't be able to basically handle their job.
How do you feel? How well do you feel the guards are doing with like protecting our chiefs of staff and senators and so on?
I honestly feel like they're doing a pretty good job taking care of the VIPs. Sure, there is some setbacks that they're doing, like for example, where one wasn't really, he wasn't really doing what he was supposed to be doing. It was more like he was just like playing around. But like I always go now, I check on the feedback. However, I get it. Some people are a lot nicer, which is why I like to go in first front. So if someone is requesting guard, I would secretly go inside the game and see how they're doing actually, and so that way I can see what we need to improve on. They're doing okay. The only thing is that some of them just don't know when to be quiet. In one of our roles, our main point is to be quiet so that way they can be vigilant of their surroundings in case anyone tries to sneak up on them. They kind of lack that, but we're going to try to fix that and basically help them explain how they're supposed to be vigilant.
Yeah, don't want anyone chatting halfway through a dangerous situation to the VIP.
For real. What was it? There was this one thing. It was yesterday where Shepard and Turtle started having an underground fist fight, and yeah, that got chaotic. So we basically had to like turn it down.
I have one question for you, Alex. What can you describe like what each unit does? Because I see that there's 3 tiers to it. Can you like describe the tiers and what their main focuses are?
Of course. So we have, like I said, 3 tiers. The first tier is our Chief of Staff Guards. Those guys are responsible for protecting our Chief of Staff, so like the Chief of Army, MP, Marines, etc., and they're also in charge of taking care of their second ICs. Now the second one is called the Senate Guards. Those guys are responsible for guarding our Imperial senators and representatives when they are visiting our base. So like Elbray or Turtle. And the third one, which is the highest and most elite one, the Commander-in-Chief Guards, who we rebranded as the Marshal Guards, which are in charge of protecting our Chief of Military Staff and the 4 Marshals. As you see, we only have 1 Marshal and 1 Chief of Staff. So it does seem small. It's the third regiment is the smallest, with only 4 spots open, and 2 of those are already taken. The main reason why it's smaller is because it's supposed to be the elites ones. So that way, the less people we have, the more we can focus on those guys to make them better. Now, I'm not saying that the first and second ones don't matter. No, we just want to make sure that the third ones know exactly what they're doing. Right now, I haven't got any problems with the third one, so it's pretty good.
What would you say out of the 3 groups is your favorite?
Honestly, I wasn't really with third. I know they're good, but I haven't really seen them in action, mostly because of the time zone issues.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like the second one is better. I'm not saying that I don't like the other two. It's just the second one has very interesting stories, like with Turtle and Shepard having an underground fist fight. That I don't know what happened. It was between those two. They were having like some issues or something. And yeah, it comes up with pretty funny stories. Now I know they're the ones that are basically like they're like they need some work. But it's actually good, so that way I can actually focus on those guys. So I can focus on those guys so much, so that way they'll be able to be better. Because like I said, they're supposed to be better than the first regiment.
Do you think with like the turtle situation, would he be under tier 3 due to him being GE's specific, chief of staff, quote unquote?
Elaborate, please.
So he's the representative of GE, which in his position is the same as Coconut's position.
Yes, but as you can see, we have jurisdiction in RM. We don't have jurisdiction in GE
Yeah.
or in any other Clone Wars or SCP. Any of those guys, we only have jurisdiction in RM. So basically, as our info says, we are only allowed to guard them when they visit our base. I'm not saying they're not important. I'm just saying that if they come and if they want to visit our base, we usually send the Senate guards because they are considered our senators and our representatives of UE.
So one
Does
thing I've noticed. Oh,
Go ahead. I was going to ask if anyone had anything else they wanted to ask.
oh, okay. So one thing I've noticed is quite a few leadership positions are still vacant in Marine Guard. Do you have people in mind for those positions yet, or are you still trying to find people who are fit for those positions?
I have a few people in mind. I'm not going to say it right now because then,
Yeah, of course.
But it's basically how my system works. My system is basically if you're in the 3rd regiment, you can qualify for 2nd regiment commander. If you're in the 2nd regiment, you'll be qualified for the 1st regiment commander, and so on. I make it to that system so that way I don't just put anyone who's in that regiment. Basically, more experienced people can actually be commanders and not just anybody from that regiment. Now, with the third, as you know, there's supposed to be a vice and the 3 regiment commanders and the training supervisor. I have the regiment commander of the first one and the training supervisor. With those two, with the other two, with the 2nd Senate Guards regiment commander, I don't really have anyone qualified yet because, like I said, it's a small branch and I haven't really seen most of them be put in action. Mostly because we only have 1 marshal and 1 chief of staff. But if I do see improvement, I already have 1 person in mind who can be potentially a vice for me and a 2nd regiment commander. But for that, I'm going to need to wait a little longer so I can get enough feedback, and so that way I can actually make the smart choice.
Anyone have any other questions for Alex? Alrighty. Thank
Well, I
you,
was gonna
Alex,
say,
for. Go ahead.
So the Senate guards, so they only go for people from like UE. So like let's say, like senators from Clone Wars only, or like senators from GE and SCP.
Yeah.
I think I could answer this one. So senators are given VIP to all other maps, or representatives. They're all given complete UE VIP for the other clans. So with the given VIP, a lot of times they're not able to carry weapons. So you need someone there to defend them.
Which is why we're there. So that way they are protected, not just from rebels or anyone else that tries to disrespect them, but also from each other.
Alrighty. Any last questions for Alex? Okay then, moving on. So as many of you will know, Knox recently retired from RM entirely, which left the positions of Marshal, Chief of Staff of Army, and Imperial Senator all open. And just earlier today, just a while ago, Shepard was chosen to replace Knox as Chief of Staff of Army, and earlier today, Lone was chosen as the new Imperial Senator. So, what do you guys think about that?
Honestly, with the whole recent senator election, Lone could do very well in that position, whether if he gives it the time and the effort. I feel he could do really well in that. Shepard, with his past in being Army Chief, can do very well in that position with his past. However, he needs his activity. Because if he doesn't have the activity, then Army might fall to shambles. If he doesn't have it, he may lose mod, which then makes him ineligible for National Security Council and Chief. So he needs to work on that activity. But I feel he could be really good in that position.
Yeah. I mean, Shepard has already been Chief of Staff of Army and also a senator in the past, so he has the experience to perform well in the position, as long as he puts in the time and effort. Anyone else have any thoughts?
I agree with the decisions that are being made. I myself ran for senator, but at the same time, I do appreciate Lone receiving it. He will do fantastic in the position, alongside with Shepard getting his position as Chief of Army, as he was previously it before. So I am excited to see with these changes, and with these people, we actually have Shepard and Turtle, which is the representative for GE, also here, if they'd like to come join us on the stand.
Good evening, good evening. Hello.
Yeah,
There's seats in the chair.
you can actually sit down.
My bad. I apologize for that, everybody. I apologize.
But yeah, welcome in.
We didn't talk about. We edit that bit out.
Shepard and Turtle. No, you're good. Welcome in, Shepard and Turtle. As we're on the topic of one of the people getting a position, Shepard is currently in the room. What is your thoughts on Chief of Army that you just received, and how will you go about with this new change?
I'm very grateful for the position. I'm very grateful that Council has given me the opportunity to become Chief of Staff of Army once again. And to answer your question of what I plan to do, I have 5 main focuses. As I said in my speech, in our council meeting, my 5 big focuses in Army are going to be maturity, activity, discipline, training, and I want to maintain as much happiness as possible. Maturity, everyone needs maturity, right? Everyone needs to be professional at some point in time in their life, in everyday life. So it's good to build that up, and I understand that I myself also need to work on that. Activity, as Holly was saying, I myself also need to up my activity as much as possible. I'm on spring break this next week, so I should be a quite bit more active, and I'd like to get Army also as active as possible, with myself hosting more events and my high command hosting more events. Discipline. Everyone needs to be disciplined in their own way, and my way of discipline isn't yelling at people. My way of discipline is guiding them along the right path and correcting their mistakes. I don't like yelling at people. And I think just correcting people works better than just yelling at them, in my personal opinion. Because no one likes to get yelled at. Yeah, it might be needed, technically, but it isn't always needed. Training. Training has always been a big focus of mine. Since Knox's retirement, and since it's been me as 2SE and me receiving the position of Chief of Staff of Army, we've gained over 40 members. We're now at 700 Discord members or so. So I'm very happy with that, and I hope that my drill sergeants and also high command can continue to train. And then probably the biggest part of keeping my branch active would be to maintain happiness. If my branch members aren't happy, I'm doing my job as a chief. I need to keep my members active in order to keep them. If they're not active, then they're gonna want, or if they're not happy, then they're gonna want to leave. But yeah, those are my main focuses as chief.
Nice. I really appreciate those. As a representative in the room, Tent Turtle, do you have thoughts on him receiving his Chief of Army?
Right. This has been a long time coming on. I'm going to go on a bit of a yap session here. But the second Shepard got mod in the first place, I knew he was out for Army General. Like, the second he got cancelled, I knew it would only be a matter of time, and yeah, he got the position. Now, I could say a lot about Shepard, and coming from a rep, it is kind of rare to see, but Shepard is honestly the reason why I'm here in the first place. It's the reason why I'm a rep. It's the reason how I ever got positions where I ever was, and it's the reason why Army is where it is to this day. I know I'm not trying to glaze, okay, not because it's one of my good mates. That is the truth. Before Army had Shepard, sorry, I was trying to find my words here. Before Army had Shepard, it was led by, no offense to them because they were decent people, but incompetent generals, people that were biased, corrupt, etc., etc. And Army was nothing. That it's just a simple way to put it. Army was nothing. That even the Special Forces branch, Delta Force, was nothing. When Shepard got general, he revolutionized the branch. He was one of the longest lasting generals of the branch. He did so much for it. He loved it and cared for it. And that's something no other general had shown up until his appointment. He goes on saying he wants people to be happy, okay, and etc., etc. And he does. He's generally a good guy. That's why he's a good general. As of why I was the more disciplined side of the older ICs of the branch. As why a bit scary guy, but I could go on with Shepard for loads of days, okay? I was in his Special Forces branch. I was in Green Berets. I was in the Army for literally my entire career. I was in the MP for like a week, and then I came to Army. I've been pretty much every position in Army, and all of it was thanks to Shepard, Again, it's the reason I'm here in the first place. His Excellency Turtle. Who would have thought? Shepard wouldn't have said that about, what 6-7 months ago? Nobody would have. The reason I'm here is because of him, and genuinely, I give him the respect for that. Yes, he made mistakes, big mistakes, very big mistakes, but he's earned the trust to come back. And trust me, it's not a casual thing to see. Someone coming back from being banned, UE-wide, then coming back to become a member of council and general again. It is very rare to see that happening, and he's shown that dedication, he's shown that loyalty, he's shown that passion to the royal family, and he's earned it back. I'm glad to see him back because he was a good senator, he was a good general, and yeah, he basically made me who I was. So I could go on like about Shepard for absolutely ages, okay, alongside Grandad Radman. May he like rest in peace. I don't know if he's still an alcoholic, but yeah, that's what I got to say about Shepard. He deserves the position, and I know for a fact he would dedicate everything to Army because that's what he does. He loves Army. I love it. I'm still in it, even though I'm in G now. I'm still a member, even though he went on trying to trade me to Marines, which I'll never forget. The awful human being he is. But yeah, Shepard is a very good guy, great candidate for obviously Chief of Staff of Army, and he will do very well. You have my honest, okay, and I don't know what the word was, but like you could trust him 100%. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. So thank you, Crazy. Congratulations, Shepard, as well.
Thank you. Hey, Turtle.
Alright.
Hey, about Radman. Just possibly wait till tomorrow.
Possibly, is he making a return?
Maybe you'll see.
Alcoholic Radman's making a return, guys. W.
All right. Thank you, Representative Turtle and General Shepard. Next up on our list is the new UE Special Forces positions. So, Crazy, would you like to talk about that since you are the Supreme Commander of Special Forces?
I mean, I don't want to float my own boat, but I'm very excited for UE Special Forces from here on out. I'm excited for its growth, especially under I wouldn't say control, like under my direction. That's the best word for it, because honestly, the control is up to the rest of it. I want to be a good leader, and leaders are there for an example, not to just boss around. I want to be a good one. I want to be there to help UE Special Forces grow. Hopefully, I mean, we just recently seen with SSFC, they have made a full grow back, or bounce back is the proper term, from where they were at, and they're completely full and have managed to stabilize themselves quite a bit from where they were with recent events that had happened. And I'm very happy. Going to continue to work hard to help every single UE Special Forces group to improve. I'm excited, especially with the recent callings of my 2IC and 3IC as well.
Speaking of the new 2IC and 3IC of Special Forces, what is your opinion on Kuros becoming Deputy Supreme Commander and Holly getting Chief of Staff of Special Forces?
I just muted my mic by accident trying to do that. I thought I already had it muted, so did the exact opposite. But I agree with the decisions. I mean, I was a part of it because I saw their activity. I saw their work that they've done for both JSFC and SSFC, and I wanted to continue to move it forward and help the rest of UE Special Forces with their talents and skills that they've provided so far. Plus, I mean, during that time period that it was just me as the Supreme with no deputy or Chief of Staff, it was a little difficult trying to maintain it all. So having 2IC and 3IC now has definitely released a little bit of burden, but also helped it to have the proper growth and need that UE Special Forces has to have. And I believe Turtle did raise his hand as well. I believe he'd love to add some comments as he's been in Special Forces for quite a period of time.
Was that my cue to like speak? Oh shit! Alright. So, regarding Crazy and obviously Special Forces, V Holly and Coriso, I still can't pronounce his name. Again, coming from me, I've been there, done that. Again, like my entire career in UE, the Special Forces as well. Green Berets to Enforcer to Second IC to Commander JSFC, EO, Special Forces, and then all the way to Second IC. As someone who's been in their positions, who's done that, oh, give me a second. So text me real quickly. Wow, what's going on there? Alright, I just needed that, didn't I? But yeah, as someone who's been there, honestly, I respect Crazy, I respect B Holly, and I respect Carissa. Special Forces, being one of those in commands, so the third IC, second IC, first IC, okay, it's difficult. It's very hard. I can't express how difficult it is, as per the reason I had to eventually leave. It's time consuming, it takes a lot of dedication, and overall it's something that needs constant maintenance and a quality leader. As of why I was very confident when Crazy B was appointed as Supreme Commander and the second IC and the third IC followed. They all are qualified and overall do a very good job. Pardon me. They all deserve the positions, okay, and overall they're just good people in general. They're disciplined, they know what they're doing, they're respectful, they act like Special Forces, and it's everything we needed. Again, as someone who's been in there and done that, someone who's been in Special Forces for a long time, and now in my association with ISFC as well, overseeing that alongside my commander, Habibi, I can positively say Special Forces will be going up from here on out. Unless, obviously, they make some oopsie-whoopsies. But I highly doubt that will ever happen. But apart from that, I'm very, very interested, and I look forward to seeing how Special Forces plays out. As you know, LB kind of had a mental breakdown because he had to go. Okay, which is very sad to see. But Elbury left Special Forces in a great position, and hopefully Crazy B can fill his legacy as Supreme Commander. So yeah, congratulations, Crazy. I know you've been in it for a while now, very long time. I want to say that formally on you and to the rest of the REC military public, and obviously everybody else in this room. You really do deserve it. Alongside V Holly, congratulations, and hopefully you can do very well in your new positions. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Alrighty. Anyone have anything else they would like to add about the new Special Forces positions?
Good job.
What about
Yes, Turtle?
Holly as Holly's the chief as well?
Yeah,
Get
Holly.
some thoughts from Holly. Holly, what's your thoughts on you being chief?
He looks high right now, guys.
He's like sleeping over there.
I am lying down. I am very comfortable right now. But in short terms, I'm proud to be in the position that I was given. I did not expect it, and I believe with Caroso being implemented to 2IC is a very good choice. He has better activity than me due to my personal work schedule. And with Crazy and his schedule, he is been amazing. He's been flip-flopping between events when he was just by himself. You'd swear there was like 20 of them.
I have a question for Holly. So Holly, obviously with you becoming chief of I forget what it's called.
Staff.
Oh my gosh.
Chief of staff.
Chief of Staff of Special Forces. My apologies. What does that mean for JSFC? As I believe you're still commander of JSFC, correct?
I am to remain JSFC commander as long as I am chief of staff to help, over UE. So with it, I'm in former terms, it was the former DO. I'm there to look through, but I also am required to command over a Special Forces unit, being JSFC, since that's the branch I'm from. As the Deputy Supreme Commander would be technically the vice heir to it, so he would have to be more open, timed, so less commanding, but he's still to remain commander of his unit. And then Crazy, who is to be left to all of them and command over everyone within Special Forces. He's the one who's able to float around and look where people need help.
Yes, Turtle.
Alright. Fioli. So you know how you like Commander JSFC, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, was it me? Sorry. Yeah.
No, I kind of forgot what I was going to say, so I just said it again. Yeah, my bad. You better not ruin it. I spent a lot of time in JSFC as commander. You better not ruin it. I'll come for you, bro.
Alrighty. So for our last topic, Shepard, as you mentioned before, Army recently reached 700 Discord members. So congratulations on that. How do you feel about Army passing this milestone?
For like the 4th time.
I think that's like 5th or 6th now, Turtle. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm very happy about it. Originally, my first time being general, 700 was my short-term goal. It's never been the long-term goal of mine. I can't speak. The long-term goal of mine has always been 1,000. 1,000 has always been the big number I've wanted to reach. 700 is just a tiny milestone.
Keep dreaming, boy.
Okay.
I mean,
just
1,000
wait
is a
up.
is
I mean,
a
it's
very
good to
big
have
milestone
dreams.
for any branch.
Which is funny because if you look at the Discord, you see all these people without their roles. They're not requesting their roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, each branch
Yeah.
could be at like 2,000 each, and we would never know because people won't request their goddamn roles.
Yeah, there's like 1,500 people waiting for roles. But yeah, 700 is just. I mean, it was a very imaginable goal of mine, and next tiny milestone for us is gonna be 800. So, and when we hit 800, I'm gonna hopefully be able to request a little something special for Army. Maybe. We'll see.
Turtle, PTS is not active here. The whole point is to talk. You don't have to raise your hand.
My good man. I'm not on the level of you animals, okay? We use PTS. This is not a disciplined room. I'm going to make it disciplined. All right, but I just wanted to say, okay? Army, okay? Because I know this has been something that's been out there for a while, yeah? Been out there. I wanted to bring it back. Shepard probably wants to bring it back. Nox wanted to bring it back. Okay, it will come back. And that's the topic of Army Rangers. The best sub-branch UE has ever seen. Army Rangers. Shepard, I have a question for you. Can you promise me that under your general leadership that you'll be able to bring back our beloved Rangers, which we so unfortunately had to shut down due to financial issues? I must say.
You know, I'm still waiting on that
Financial
grasp for
issues is
JSFC.
crazy.
There are obviously no promises for me, right? But I am very, very hopeful that the National Security Council, along with, and also Chief of Military Staff Coconut, I'm very hopeful, and I really hope they will allow me to bring back Army Rangers.
Right. Coco, if you don't do it, I'll see you in the alleyway. That's all I can say. I'll get my ISFC balls on you.
Hey.
Right.
Speaking of alleyways, what is it with you and Shepard? Yesterday you guys were having a brawl in the middle of the damn street.
Oh,
swear.
Somebody
no,
described
no,
it to me as a
Alright,
gang
alright,
war.
Listen, fam.
No,
Listen, fam.
That's what I
listen.
said.
I listen. Don't worry about it, okay?
Worry
Don't worry
about
I
it.
mean, there was also the
My
time Turtle
guards,
tried to
their
storm the
jobs
JSSC
depend on
map.
that.
Don't worry about it. That's all I can say. But all I'm gonna say is this: yeah, this is my final little statement. Okay, with my beautiful robe and my beautiful teamy rings. Okay, listen. Shepard is a good man, and his appointment, Crazy is a good man. Everybody here is very good and loyal soldiers to the United Empire. Okay, I play around a lot. Everyone knows that. I'm not here to make this about me. Okay, it's about RM. I still show my support. I still show my love for the entire clan. I love you all. RM is my home. Okay, but my obviously duties have led me somewhere else, and GE will always continue to grow and be not a rivalry, but like a sisterly, brotherly kind of feud inside of UE, and hopefully, we can continue to thrive as one clan to another, and that's on behalf of me to all the rec military. Okay, we will grow together as a unified empire under the constitution given to us by the royal family, under the supervision of the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Rose, and His Royal Highness Crown Prince Abdul. We will continue growth and we'll continue to expand our glorious empire, no matter what. Okay. So yeah, that's like my little final message.
Damn, bro, preached.
We should rename
Aye, bro.
this.
Word, bro.
We should name this episode "Turtles Yapping Session."
Hell yeah.
That's every
Guys.
session with Shepard Turtle here.
Hey, I just want to say, yesterday during mine and Turtle's gang war, I had to ground, bro. I grounded him. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, he
the video says
grounded a wreck,
otherwise.
guys. He grounded a
Huh?
wreck. And then I beat him 4-1
Yeah.
in 1v1 arena.
Yeah, he
On
did kind
console.
of do that. Yeah. I'm washed at PvP.
That just shows
So I got to say.
my superiority over you, Shepard.
Hey, in my defense, there were hella barriers. Okay. There were hella invisible barriers.
Yeah. There's always an excuse.
Sure.
Oh, and actually, it was 4-2, pal. Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have any last-minute topics they would like to bring up before we end the
No.
episode? Okie dokie. Well, thank you for watching this episode of Mission Debrief. See you in the next one.